Two professors who won, Alvin Roth, Lloyd Shapley, Roth out of the Harvard University and Shapley out of the University of California at Los Angeles. Again, they were awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics on Monday. To tell us a little bit about their research, what they won for, is David Wessel. He is now hooked up in Washington, D.C. with us now. Hey, David, so in describing earlier today what they won for, they said for the theory of stable allocations and practice of market design. Now, that's heady stuff. It's got real practical implications, though. Talk to us about that.
Right. This is really one of those Nobel Prizes. It's extremely practical. These guys pioneered ways to design markets for matching people who want to give kidneys to people who need kidneys for transplant, for lining up public school students with charter schools, for matching residents in medical programs with the medical schools. They kind of figured out a way to do better than the systems they were using, people using before, by algorithms that are kind of hard for me to describe, but basically end up with more people getting their first choice and more institutions getting their first choice than was otherwise the case.
And these algorithms have already been put into practice, from what I understand, and to some success.
Absolutely. They fixed a problem that was in New York City, where a lot of kids were signing up for various charter schools or magnet schools, and they were ending up with things that weren't on their first, second, third, fourth, fifth choice. Al Roth came up with an algorithm that made it so that almost everybody gets one of their top choices. Similarly, with kidney transplants, it's extraordinary. Now we have these elaborate chains where I want to donate a kidney to my son, but we don't match, so I give a kidney to someone else, and they give a kidney to myself, to my son, and they have these chains that are 20, 30 people long. And it was all made possible by these moneyless markets that were designed by these kind of architects and engineers of markets. It's really remarkably practical work.
David, when it comes to the Nobel Prize in Economics, people sort of always wonder, what is the benchmark? It obviously has some sort of basis in the economy and making markets work, but does it have to have sort of a practical explanation and a practical application that can be readily explained to the average Joe and person and people like me?
No. There's a bunch of economics professors in Sweden who award the prize, and sometimes it's very theoretical, and reporters like me and my colleagues wince when we see who's announced, and we have to hope that we can explain it. We're just lucky this year that it was a couple, an older man and a man in his 60s, who have done work that really is so practical that you can explain it on the first answer to the first question.
David Wessel, thanks so much for bringing us that report. More online right now at WSJ.com about the winners of the Nobel Prize in Economics.